Come in.
Hi, Sandy. Alexa Lee with Salesforce.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to speak with me today. Bobby was telling me a little bit about Duluth Operating Group at VGA Spring Game the other day, and so I was happy to hear he was able to set up a meeting for us to speak today.
Yeah, he told me all about you, and I'm excited for this opportunity too.
Good. Well, before we start, I want to go ahead and give you my business card. Here you go.
Thank you.
Feel free to give me a call with any questions you may have or any concerns you may have after today's meeting.
Okay.
And also, feel free to interrupt me today at all if you have any questions as well.
Okay.
So we have 20 minutes for this meeting, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. And is there anyone else you think should be present within today's meeting?
As of right now, I think it's just me. Later down the line, I might have you speak with our head of IT, but for right now, it's just me.
Okay, sounds good. Well, like I said, Bobby did tell me a little bit about DOG and how you guys are looking for a new CRM sales management system. And so I went ahead and did some of my own research. But I'd like to go ahead and get a better understanding of how Salesforce could best suit you and what some of your needs are. So would it be okay if I ask you a few questions?
Of course.
Great. So I've created an outline here that I'd like to discuss with you today. First, I'd love to learn a little bit about DOG from your perspective. Like I said, I've done some research, but I'd love to gain your insight on the company and just see where you guys could possibly improve and where the potential is for Salesforce.
Okay.
And then, based on what we discussed, I'd love to show you a quick demo of Salesforce so you can get really the hands-on experience and see what some of your sales reps would see when they use the software. And this will just be a very basic, brief overview just to get that hands-on experience. And then if that goes well, we can discuss the future in terms of cost as well as the future opportunities that Salesforce may have with DOG. Does that sound okay with you?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to touch on?
I don't think so. I think you covered everything.
Okay, great. So if it's okay with you, we can go ahead and get started. Do you mind if I take some notes?
Nope, go for it.
Okay, sounds good. So first, can you tell me a little bit about DOG? I know that you guys are currently in 4 territories in the Southeast, so can you just go ahead and tell me a little bit about that and how you guys are structured?
Yeah, so we're currently located in 4 territories, like you said. Duluth, Nashville, well, Duluth is where we're headquartered, and then Nashville, Augusta, and Jacksonville. And then for our staff, there's currently me, and then we have inside staff members. We also have our VP of Sales who oversees sales for all of the territories. And then below the VP of Sales, there are the branch managers for our salespeople and our maintenance people.
Okay. And in my research, I saw that DOG has continued to grow over the years, and that you guys had roughly $49 million for 2017 in revenue. Is that correct?
Yes, we had a pretty good year for a company our size.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's absolutely amazing, and it definitely is an indicator that you guys are doing something. What you guys are doing is working really well for you guys, and we just want to help you expand upon that and continue to grow and make sure that you guys are the best that you can be. So from what I understand, DOG has a total of 126 employees with about 29 salespeople / sales managers.
Yeah, so we have about 30 now, and we're looking to add at least 5 more in the upcoming year, but that's just due to the way that we've been growing.
Okay, and approximately 4 of those are sales managers, is that
Yes.
correct? Okay, good to know. Based on your salespeople's current workload and knowledge, how much would you say each person costs you per hour?
So I actually have it right here. So our salespeople cost around $30 an hour, and our managers are about $50 an hour.
Okay, great. That was going to be my next question, the managers. So now that I have an idea of your sales reps, could you go ahead and tell me a little bit about what the day-to-day is like for one of your reps?
Yeah, so each morning our sales reps come in and have a morning team meeting as a group with their managers, and just to kind of update everyone on what everyone is doing. And then from there, our reps head out to appointments or make calls to set up appointments for potential clients and really get the DOG name out there, as well as follow up with current clients just to check in and see if everything is going as expected. So the main objective for our reps is really to build that relationship with our clients and keep the communication going from the beginning of the sale and beyond after the sale has been completed.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. So let's say one of your sales reps does make a sale. Could you tell me a little bit about how they currently go about logging and tracking their information for orders and sales and things like that?
Yeah, so currently each rep kind of does their own thing, and it's up to them how they want to keep up with their sales. There's not really any set protocol currently for our reps to follow, so they kind of just do whatever works for them. Some use pencil and paper and keep a log in a notebook, and then some other reps keep notes on their computer or use Excel sheets, but it's just kind of everywhere right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it sounds like it's kind of all over the place. Because of that, do you ever see a lack of communication between your reps and some of the other departments within the company or clients and the leadership team?
Yeah, so that's something that we really have been trying to get in order, but we just can't seem to figure it out.
Okay. And I mean, as someone who oversees the entire company, I'm sure it can get frustrating when you can't really keep track of, what your reps and managers are doing and how they're spending their time.
Yeah, exactly. That is one of the more frustrating things.
Yeah. So, I mean, it seems to sort of lack organization. Could you tell me a little bit on average per week how long you think it takes a sales rep to typically log a sale using your current system?
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to say. I know that it does take a while because they're working on multiple platforms and because of the lack of organization that we spoke about earlier. But I know that after a rep makes a sale, they have a couple of meetings with their manager to straighten out all the details. And I would say this takes about 10 hours a week.
Okay. So just doing some quick math there, you said each rep costs you about $50 an hour. So that alone, $50 times 10 hours, that's $500 a week just for one rep to work on one sale. And then obviously you multiply that by your 25 salespeople and you get $12,500 right off the bat, all just from focusing on one sale. So if you were to eliminate some of the time that it takes to log a sale, you could potentially eliminate some of that cost. I just want you to keep that number in mind. We'll go on and talk about that again later towards the end. And so I know that a second issue that we talked about was the lack of internal communication between departments. So your sales and maintenance departments are somewhat intertwined because once your rep makes a sale, the maintenance team receives that notice so they can begin. Is that right?
Yes, that is currently how it's working.
Okay. And so there is some overlap there. And as of right now, you don't have any system in place for your reps to communicate with the maintenance department or the sales managers, as well as other departments throughout the company?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say a branch manager needs to get in contact with the VP of sales. But because there is only one VP of sales, how would you go about coming in contact with that person and then getting their question answered?
So there really isn't a uniform system in place right now that allows for quick and easy communication, like you said. As of right now, if one of our branch managers has a question or needs to reach the VP of sales, they have to go to the directory, get their information, and then reach out to them via email or phone and try to get their questions answered that way. So it's definitely a process. Okay. However, because our VP of sales is in charge of 4 territories, it could take quite a while for our VP to respond, and the same goes for whenever it comes to those 2 teams and the communication between them. So we have quite a large staff between the 2 teams also, so it requires a good bit of time to look up the contact info and for whoever they're trying to reach, and sometimes emails get lost in translation, so with everything else going on.
Okay, I see. So would it be safe to say that it takes at least a day or 2 for that question to get answered?
Oh yeah, at least if not longer.
Okay.
We do require a 24-hour response time, but sometimes that's just not feasible for the amount of work our reps are doing and our current plans to expand.
Okay. I can definitely understand that. So with this constant communication happening back and forth between everyone in the company, are there clients on the other side waiting to hear back from the sales reps or maintenance rep, and then this lack of communication is slowing down the process of the client getting a quicker response?
Yeah, definitely, and that's just another person waiting to respond, and it's honestly been a waiting game because everyone is waiting to hear back from somebody at some point.
Yeah, gotcha. So because of that, has there ever been a time where you lost a client because it took so long to get back to them?
Yeah, so actually not too long ago, we lost out on a pretty big client because they couldn't get in contact with one of our sales reps because the email from the client was at the bottom of their inbox and our reps just couldn't see it.
Okay. Gotcha. So this definitely seems to be like a pretty big issue then for you guys. So just to run some numbers there, if your reps are spending, let's say, 10 hours a week communicating back and forth, you get the same number as before, which was 12,500, and that's just for your sales reps. If you add in your 77 maintenance people and multiply that by, let's just say, another $30 an hour, and 10 hours a week, you get $23,100. So that's a total right there of $35,600 in just 1 week for a lack of communication. And it could possibly be even higher because those were just rough estimates.
Right. Well, wow, when you put it that way, it really is eye-opening.
Yeah, it really is. Sometimes you just really have to see the numbers on paper.
Yeah, definitely.
So now that we've gone through some of the areas where DOG could improve and gone through some of those numbers, I'd love to show you a quick demo, if that's okay, just so you can get your hands on the product and see what your reps see when they get on.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, perfect. So if you don't mind, I'll come on over there.
Okay, yeah.
And just show you on my computer here. Okay, so here, this is our dashboard and what your reps would see when they log in the morning. This is the main page, so you can add whatever you want. So that way, each dashboard is tailored for each rep, and it's completely customizable, so they can see whatever they want. I went ahead and created an account for the company. So as you can see here, the tasks that are scheduled for the day are listed up here in the corner.
Okay.
And you can also see where you stand amongst other sales reps.
Okay.
The reps are also able to pull up their client information and see when the next call and when the next meeting is scheduled, as well as any other pending orders that they may have currently.
Oh, wow, okay. That's nice how everything's accessible at one point.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that would allow your reps to keep everything organized because everything all is in one place. So one of the problems I know you mentioned earlier was the need for better sales tracking and logging. I know you talked about the fact that your reps and managers currently utilize different platforms. So Salesforce makes tracking really simple by having everything all on one platform. It also allows you to do so in as little as 2 clicks. So if you just want to go ahead and go to the app launcher up in the top left corner right there.
Okay, right here?
Yes. Click
Okay.
on that and then go down to sales content.
Okay.
Great. And now you can kind of see the trend line where your sales decrease as well as where they increase, as well as the leads that are coming up, who your clients are, what your team is going to do today, and all that is all on just this one page, allowing you to access everything easier.
Okay, and I had a question. So, do the managers and the salespeople see the same view?
No, there's 2 different views. So your managers will have their own manager view, so they kind of see like an overview of everybody and their sales reps, whereas the sales reps just see what they're doing. They can see what other people are doing, but they can't like control any of it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well that's very easy.
Yeah, and that's something you'll find a lot with Salesforce. We're really trying to ease the behind-the-scenes process of the sale. And I know another problem that you wanted to address was the lack of communication within that company. And so with Salesforce, we do have a chatter capability. So if you can go ahead and click on it up there in the top right. Yes. This will allow you to access an area where your teams can collaborate with each other, and you won't run into problems of everyone communicating in different ways and like on notepads and Excel and things like that. Now everyone can communicate and let each other know what's going on and what they've been doing, and it's all in one place, which makes it easier for everyone to view. It's really quick, really easy.
Okay.
So let's say Sally is one of your sales reps, and she needs to ask her manager, Bob, a question.
Okay.
So instead of having to go over to Bob's office and ask him a question or call him and leave him a message, and having to wait for that response, all she has to do is tag Bob right here. So you just type in Bob's name. Okay. And she'll have to press send with her message.
Okay.
And now when Bob logs on in the morning, Sally's message will pop up right there first thing in the morning.
Okay.
And then also a unique aspect about Salesforce is that we do have a mobile capability. So if Bob has his notifications turned on his phone, the message will pop up on his phone as soon as she clicks send.
Okay, and are all of these features accessible by a phone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Everything is accessible that way.
Okay, and would that feature be available to everyone?
Yes, that is going to be available to everyone.
Okay.
And Salesforce is actually one of the first CRM softwares that has utilized a cloud-based system. So this really allows you to see all of your information from wherever you are while constantly updating itself without having to click update, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay. Well, this all sounds great, and I've loved hearing about Salesforce, and after seeing this demo, I think it really would be beneficial for us here at DOG. So what does a program like this cost?
Yeah, of course. I just want to go ahead and show you all the numbers visually.
Okay.
To set up Salesforce, there would be an initial $18,000 installation fee that would cover installation of the software onto all of your computers.
Okay.
And then that also comes with a lifetime of customer service. So as long as you have the software, you'll be able to call us, and if any of your reps have any questions, we'll be able to answer those for you.
Okay.
And then from there, it would cost you about $85 per person per month.
Okay.
So with your total of 129 workers, that would roughly cost you about $29,000 just for that first month. And then from there, it would be about $11,000 a month.
Okay, wow, that's a pretty large amount.
Yeah, and we definitely understand that. Salesforce is a big investment, and it will help you in the long run. However, when you compare it to the numbers we calculated earlier, the $12,500 lost per week for time spent logging a sale, as well as the $35,600 lost due to lack of communication per week, multiplied that by 4 weeks in a month, that gives you a monthly loss of $192,400.
Wow, that's crazy. I did not realize we were losing out on so much revenue because of these problems.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's huge when you see it written down and can really recognize what's happening in the company.
I agree.
So just after seeing those two numbers, the $192,400 and the $29,000 just for that first month, what are some of your thoughts?
So yeah, after seeing those numbers, the $29,000 doesn't really, it does seem to be doable, and I feel like the benefits that you mentioned earlier would allow us to cut those losses. So I really think that it would be beneficial for you to meet with some of the other people within the team and give a demo like you gave me, and just that hands-on experience like today.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I would definitely love to schedule another meeting with you guys and really get you back to focusing on your core values and put all of your focus back on your customers. Would next week around this same time work for you?
Yeah, I think that works, and I'll make sure that everyone who needs to be here is here.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
Of course.
Thanks.